According to Callahan, this third argument fails as well. And this argument fails because of a mistake or oversight in the argument. According to Callahan, there is a clear difference between killing and allowing one to die, between active euthanasia and physician-assisted suicide on the one hand, and passive euthanasia on the other hand. And to see this, all we have to do is look at the cause of death in each case. For instance, in passive euthanasia, when a doctor removes life support or medical treatment, it is the terminal illness that is causing the death of that patient, right? The doctor removes medical treatment and the terminal illness begins to take over again. And ultimately, that illness will cause the death of that patient. In contrast, when it comes to active euthanasia, it is not the terminal illness that is causing the death. It is not nature taking its natural course, but it is rather the doctor, him or herself, that is directly causing the death of that patient. Were it not for the doctor providing the lethal injection, that patient would not die at that moment in time. So the cause of death in these various cases is different, and that establishes the difference in the morality of the cases. When the cause of death is natural, when the cause of death is the terminal illness, that's morally acceptable, okay? But when the cause of death is the medical physician, that is unacceptable. Perhaps because the medical physician has a moral duty to promote the life and health of that patient. So they cannot directly cause the death of the patient when they have a simultaneous duty to save the life of that patient. Okay, so therein lies the difference according to Callahan. Moreover, Callahan says that it makes no sense to say that a doctor is playing any real significant role in the death of a patient when it comes to passive euthanasia. Because if it were not for the doctor keeping that patient alive in the first place, that patient would have died from their illness. That is to say that passive euthanasia only occurs after the doctor has already gone through some efforts to keep the patient alive. When the doctor removes the treatment or the life support, they are not killing the patient. Again, they have done everything in their power to not kill the patient, to save the life of the patient. It's just that they can do no more. Therefore, they remove treatment, thereby allowing nature to take its course. But this is very different than active euthanasia and a doctor intervening to directly and immediately kill their patient. Okay, so therefore, according to Callahan, there is a fundamental difference between killing, actively euthanizing a patient, and letting that patient die, which would be more in association with passive euthanasia. Therefore, just because passive euthanasia is morally and legally permissible, that does not show that active euthanasia and physician-assisted suicide should be permissible as well. Therefore, this third argument fails.